Republicans and Democrats on the Armed Services Committee months ago very skeptical about getting our allies out and how to continue to identify threats in that region once we're gone. We're joined by U.S. Congressman Mike Johnson right here in Northwest Louisiana. Mr. Johnson, on a couple of the House Armed Services Subcommittee. Sir, thank you for joining us. I'll just state this off the top. Half our viewers voted for Biden, the other half voted for Trump. With that, we know. You've described this as utterly avoidable disaster. We'll talk accountability in a moment. I want to ask you right off the top here, how worried are you about getting 100,000 people out of there in a timely fashion and having to rely basically on the Taliban to be nice to accomplish this?
We're deeply concerned about it, Doug. And as you pointed out on the House Armed Services Committee and in other committees in the Congress, we had been pressing the administration, pressing the president for some time now to give us the plan. He established an arbitrary date for withdrawal, but did not establish or follow any apparent plan at all on how to do it. And it is inconceivable that that would happen. Anyone could have foreseen that this would happen the way it has. It's a disaster. We have to get these people out. We don't have an apparent plan from the White House on how to do it. And now we're concerned about the long-term consequences of this as well. It's a tragedy that will keep compounding.
And with this said, too, we're talking about Americans who are not just all there just outside the airport. They're spread out across the country. Yet, what do you know personally about any efforts to safely get them to the airport?
Well, that's the problem, that there's no real game plan in place so far as they've instructed us at Congress. Even in classified settings, they've not told us this. We have about 10,000 Americans there. I mean, our own essential personnel. We should have gotten them out way in advance. And then you've got about 85,000 other friends and allies, interpreters who assisted us, other personnel on the ground who are seen to be friendly to America, and the Taliban is already targeting them. People are going to die because of this. It was totally preventable, and that's what's excusable.
I want to ask the million-dollar question here. Are we to believe the U.S. intelligence, no matter who the president is, let's just leave that out of it for a moment, but are we to believe the U.S. intelligence, the smartest country in the world, did not see this coming as the final troops were pulled out of there? Where is the breakdown, or where was the breakdown?
The breakdown is at the White House. There's no other way to say it. President Trump, of course, had a plan to pull our troops out, but Secretary of State Pompeo and the Trump administration had orchestrated. They put together a plan with the Pentagon. They were going to keep open at least 2 of our major military installations to provide cover to get our essential personnel out before the rug was pulled out from beneath the Afghan troops. That didn't happen here, and that's why you see the crisis.
Are you saying, sorry to interrupt, are you saying something changed if you're saying Trump had such a concrete plan?
Yes, I'm saying that the Biden administration, the president and the people he put in charge did not follow that plan. They threw it in the trash can, apparently, and they went forward without any conceivable plan at all. And that's why we have this problem. As we speak, Doug, the Taliban has surrounded the Kabul's international airport there, which is the only route out now. And so now we have to rely on the kindness of the Taliban, a terrorist organization, to usher our people through. This is a real problem. We have people hiding out in their houses, sheltering in place, waiting for rescue. And there's no plan now on how they'll be rescued, at least not one that they've communicated to Congress.
Quickly, running out of time on this end, helicopters, armored vehicles, weaponry, I guess that goes along with, why didn't we get the folks out? We've just left this apparently in the hands of the Afghans, who didn't put up much of a fight. How do you deal with that moving forward as well?
Well, the big concern we have right now is that Afghanistan will now turn into a haven for terrorist organizations again. That's the reason we went in originally 20 years ago, to root that out. Al-Qaeda will take root again. They will plan terrorist plots and strikes to export around the world. And of course, they want to come to our homeland first and foremost. The September 11th deadline anniversary is right around the corner, and we're deeply concerned. We need to be in prayer for this. Seriously, Doug, this is a serious situation.
The quick 20-second answer, accountability. Who meets about this when we're past this? How do we get to the bottom of this situation where we ended up?
We already called for hearings in the House. We will be trying to organize those because we have to get answers and make sure this kind of debacle never, ever happens again.
Congressman Mike Johnson, thank you, sir, for your time. And we're not